You have no intelligence. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
January 3rd, 2021. Installment number 3 of YouTube's Darkest Channels is released.
I legit am scared.
The episode showcased multiple disturbing accounts, with one in particular being Leather Smoke Me, an account run by a man who, along with his fans, fetishized his own deterioration and subsequent death due to smoking. Before this video aired, I would briefly explore the entirety of this smoking fetish community, discovering a countless number of these channels participating in it, with one of which being run by a 19-year-old high school student named Dylan Pontney, by far the youngest person I had ever seen taking part in this. I would only watch one of his videos in passing, using that along with many others as evidence that this trend did in fact exist. However, at the time, I could have never known how twisted that obscure channel truly was, and how much darker it would get, as just a few months later, Dylan's life would take a disturbing turn, and one that would forever immortalize his channel as one of YouTube's darkest. Before we get too far into this, I want to thank today's sponsor, Raycon. Raycon is truly disrupting the electronics industry by making great sound affordable for everyone, as their wireless earbuds start at just half the price of other premium audio brands. Co-founded by Ray J, it's no wonder celebrities like Snoop Dogg and Mike Tyson are using these earbuds, as they come in a wide variety of fun colors and patterns, with multiple fit options for everyone, all without the dangling wires or stems, and they have the performance to match their look, with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a compact, comfortable fit. Recently, I've been wearing mine while walking my new puppy, Kuma. So if you would like a pair of your own Raycons, click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/Nick Crowley, and you'll get 15% off of your Raycon purchase. And with their 45-day free return policy, you can try them today practically risk-free. Addicted to dying slower. This was the caption for Dylan Pontney's first video on Instagram, as he's shown taking a long drag of his cigarette. And looking back, it was this account that provides the context needed to understand Dylan, as well as his YouTube channels, as videos like this were the basis of his content, and those watching absolutely loved it. Commenters would say things like, "Looking good, man. You're so sexy, addicted lung. Your face is cute," and "very hot smoker, smoker fetish?" He would never respond to that final question, though the answer wasn't hard to find. Dylan would post these videos shirtless, while acknowledging and thanking the fans who were leaving sexual comments, even mentioning a potential start of an OnlyFans account. He knew what he was doing, and his account was a fetish page through and through, but not in the way that you would typically expect. Dylan clearly loved smoking, but more specifically the dark side effects that came with it, as he would hashtag things like cancer and lung, as well as even stating outright that he thought cancer was good. And he was being serious too, as he'd even take pictures of the warning labels on cigarette packages, which featured photos of withering and dying individuals, as they were designed to scare people away. But rather than deterring him, Dylan would openly say how much he loved the sight of them, as it showed what could happen to him someday, an idea that Dylan absolutely loved. Dylan Pontney wanted to get cancer and die before his audience's eyes, much like Leather Smoke Me had done years before, along with many others across the web, with his Instagram providing all the context we need, context that would make his YouTube channels all the more concerning. Dylan had 3 channels, one of which going under the same name as his Instagram, along with another called Jericho Chris, the same account that I had found way back when researching in December. And both accounts consisted mainly of his smoking videos. And quickly, Dylan would start to amass a few hundred views per video, as viewers were watching eagerly to see the young man begin to wither. It's a concept that's dark enough, especially considering his age. But as mentioned, Dylan had 3 total channels, with his third proving to be the darkest. The channel would go by the name of Juniper Crossing, and again feature more smoking clips. Only, unlike his other pages, these clips didn't make up the majority of his content. In fact, the channel itself was dedicated to a whole other rabbit hole here on YouTube. And it's one that we've been down before.
See what I'm talking about? That is true power and true free will. Basically, we're all trapped on an iron grid. Our cells are literally keeping us trapped on planet Earth. You need to get to the center of the flat Earth before you're dead, or you will expire of your own stupidity.
Blood Over Intent, Proof of Life, Quasi-Luminous. This was the title of Dylan's second upload to the Juniper Crossing channel that would go live back in December of 2021, clearly in reference to what has now become one of the largest and most intriguing rabbit holes on all of YouTube. We explored the mystery way back in the day, the Cult of Saturn. It's a group that believes an apocalyptic event is imminent, and the only way to survive is to put your name in Satan's Book of Life, a book reserved for the first 144,000 people who partake in a ritual known as Blood Over Intent. For the ritual, you write your intentions down on a sheet of paper and then spill your blood over it, which supposedly manifests your intentions, as well as puts your name in the Book of Life, essentially securing your salvation. But in order for it to fully work, you must record the ritual and post it here on YouTube. It's one of the first big rabbit holes that we explored on the channel, and it was uncovered that the man behind the whole movement is named Mark Braun, or as he goes by on YouTube, Quasi-Luminous, which Dylan references in the title of his video. Mark believes that he is Satan himself, and the followers of this movement believe the same, despite the fact that in reality he's just a genuinely disturbed guy. Now, fellow YouTuber Blame It on Jorge has, in my opinion, the best breakdown of this mystery, so I recommend watching his video on it for further details. But all in all, it's an incredibly twisted community. Something that became even more apparent to me, as every now and then I still receive bizarre threats from certain members of the group, despite having posted that video over a year ago.
Nicholas Irwood, Nicholas Irwood, Nicholas Irwood. He were in the pocket of fog if you seen it. Nicholas Irwood. He were in the pocket of fog if you seen it. Nicholas Irwood.
But out of all the videos that I've seen associated with this group, Dylan's truly stand out. Most people who take part in this will simply prick their finger with a pushpin in order to spill their blood, but Dylan's approach is a little different and much more violent. Rather than gently jabbing himself with a pushpin, Dylan instead slams it into his finger over and over again, in most cases pushing the pin clear through his thumb, in one side and out the other. And though I can't fully show you an example of this, you can understand the force he's using just by listening. There's a real darkness to this Juniper Crossing channel, as it's essentially the combination of two YouTube mysteries we've covered in the past, both of which being incredibly concerning in their own right. I mean, this is a channel run by a kid who wants to get cancer and die, while at the same time immersing himself into one of YouTube's darkest cults. And what's also obvious when watching these videos is there's a real anger to Dylan, which is fully on display when he jams the pin through his finger, as well as on his Instagram page. We can see that his bedroom walls are filled with holes, likely as a result of Dylan punching them. He was clearly dealing with some very serious issues in regards to his mental health, and unfortunately, things would only escalate from this point on. From here, he'd begin to fall down into a conspiracy rabbit hole, posting about the Earth being flat, stating that humans are being farmed, and that our world is just one big prison. Theories that he would begin to push more and more on his channel as time went on, further showcasing what appeared to be the deterioration of Dylan's mind. And posts that would all lead us to his final upload, a video that will forever prove to be the darkest he'd ever make. On the morning of March 15th, 2021, Dylan would post a video titled "Smoking in a Car Full Vid." It would feature no further description. The clip shows as Dylan jokes around with his father on their way to Dylan's school as he enjoys his early morning cigarette, which in his words was the best way to start the day. He then asks his dad if they could visit his nana after school, and the two would start to plan out their day.
Are we going to Nana's place after?
Are we supposed to?
Maybe.
You want to go there for a visit?
Yeah.
Dylan then finishes his cigarette before shutting off the camera. He would never post again. Not just on his YouTube account, but on his Instagram as well. In fact, no social media belonging to Dylan would ever be updated from this moment on. The video would go live as soon as Dylan would get dropped off at school, and from there he would start his day as usual. That morning he would sit in his classroom at Christ the King High School, the same way he would do any other school day, only today was different. For reasons unknown, at roughly 9:30 a.m., Dylan would stand up from his chair before pulling a knife out of his backpack, right in the middle of class. He would then proceed to turn to the girl sitting next to him, and before anyone could realize what was happening, Dylan would stab 17-year-old Jennifer Winkler and quickly leave the classroom and the school itself. It happened too quickly to react, and in an instant, Jennifer would be fatally injured, later passing away in the hospital before her father could say goodbye. Dylan would attempt to run but would only make it to a nearby neighborhood before being caught and arrested for murder. Just barely a few hours ago, Dylan was sitting with his dad planning out his day, and there was no sort of indication in this final video that just moments later he would take a life in cold blood. And even more shocking of all, according to the victim's father, there was seemingly no bad blood between the two. As a matter of fact, they were at one point neighbors, though they never really hung out or talked. The attack was completely unprovoked and seemingly without reason. According to Dylan's own dad, he was a troubled kid who struggled daily with mental health issues, but in his own words, he said he believed that Dylan was making strides and starting to get better. But his YouTube channel paints a different story. It showed a young man who had seemingly no will to live, a man that wanted to die, and a young man who was clearly dealing with intense and very concerning anger issues, all leading to him cutting short a life for seemingly no reason at all. And just based off of the way that Jennifer's dad describes her, well, it seems like our world lost an amazing person that day.
She was bright, smart, creative. She was just Jenny. I'm gonna miss her, and I
after I eat my jibber joints and drink my heater and my hot Asian wife, I'm gonna squash you like the bug you are.
Mr. Satan, everybody!
The angel of death is gonna find you, motherfucker. Hurrah for them. We shall fix it. Believe. Go offer them. We shall fix that. Believe. I don't care if you're CIA, intelligence, whoever it is. You have no intelligence. You're so silly, retarded.
The first Fisher King was a man called Braun.
How you guys doing? Thanks for joining me. In my last video, I was pointing out that silence implies consent. It's informally phrased as you snooze, you lose. Okay? You can't see it, but what's being used against you is serious black magic. It's that you can't really see anything, and they consider you literally retarded. What you're going to want to do is type into whatever search engine, your silence implies consent. You can't see where the root of this goes to, but it all goes to the Vatican. In other words, England owns America, and the Vatican owns England, and basically the entire world is owned until Jesus Christ returns. The Pope is the vicar of Christ, which means he owns you as cattle. It doesn't matter what you believe. It never was about what you believe, people. It was what were you going to do about it? What did you intend to do about it? And you intended to informally snooze, you lose, and let it just blow right over your head, people. You're screaming freedom, 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 which is funny to them because you wanted your sovereignty the whole fucking time like you had back in the Old West. Back in 1913, everything changed for you, and it's been downhill. What you need to do is understand something. Every word that you speak is a magic spell, and it has 4 meanings to it. It can be broken down into numbers. It can be spoken. Like the word whole is whole and complete, which gives me my whole out of here. That's 2 meanings of the same word. Or you understand what I'm saying? There's words that have, if you look at a Black's Law dictionary, you'll see in the 1936 edition, people have posted the links on my videos showing you that you're a monster with no inheritable blood. You have no right, you can't be heir to any land. You don't own anything. The people who own you transfer their consciousness from body to body. There is nobody in the government that's real. They're all automatons. Look it up. This is serious, people. This has been exposed. AIDS has been exposed. 9/11 is seen in 100 movies and things. I've seen it, and it's been rubbed in your face. Clearly, the magic that's been rubbed in your face is called lesser magic. But the biggest magic of all is that this black magic is you snooze, you lose. You don't understand anything that's being used against you. And you'll suggest that I'm crazy. Listen, there's no law that says that you could be taxed. Listen, everything, America never declared independence from England. Look it up. Look, you snooze, you lose. That's what they're telling you. He who would be deceived, let him. That's what they're telling you. So, when I tell you to spill your blood over your intent, let me tell you what's going on here. They're telling you, whether you believe it or not, the Pope owns you. He can come over and fucking kill you anytime he wants, or rape you if he wants to, okay? And there's nothing you can do. You can see my channel. They broke on my home to silence me. And that's on my channel. You can see, and you can see you can find the videos on YouTube if you want to. It's just digging up old wounds right now is just crazy. What I'm explaining to you is that they don't get warrants or anything like that. They will absolutely kill you if they want to. And unless you're streaming live to YouTube, because they'll destroy your device like they did to my device. Listen, people, you don't really want to know the truth, do you? Your silence is consent. Once you hear this information, like I showed you, you put your kids at risk. And I'm going to show you how fucking retarded you are. I'm telling you. They put on TV that your country's at war, America, USA. There is a civil flag and a military flag. Your children do not wear fatigues. They do not have Humvees. Do not carry guns. There's no sandbags around the school. There's supposed to be a flag in there where the stripes go up and down. Okay? And it's crazy, but it's 4:44 on the clock right now exactly. I just fucking changed. Fuck. Any case. Point I'm trying to make is that the clock is always talking to you. You're in a hologram right now. And the magic that's being used against you, you don't understand anything. It's really that you're in a hologram. Outer space does not exist. You think I'm crazy. I'm informing you. You're a two-dimensional flatlander. It's been rubbed in your face. The Earth, NASA owes us over $1 trillion, and all the money that was spent on fake space stuff. There's a dome up there, people. You're fucking retarded. I'm telling you. Open your eyes. The sun is just... Go measure it with the sextant yourself, people. I did it. I'm telling you. It's 32 nautical miles in diameter. When it's at high noon, it's 3,100 miles away from you. It's true. You're on a flat Earth plane. You're in a hologram. Okay, go look up the high balloon things. You'll see. The reason there's no stars or anything, because you're in a hologram. It's a two-dimensional reality. Everything's fake. Do you understand me? Everything's fake. Your leaders are fake. Look it up. It's been proven. Okay? You and your silence is consent. And they're using the power of God against you. That's why the Vatican is... Okay, God, the ruler of the whole fucking... You just don't get it yet. They're using God until... Look, it doesn't matter what you believe. What did you intend to do about it? You snooze, you lose, people. Now listen, the people that you're hoping are going to come and save you are setting up a fake invasion of aliens and a fake savior, the reptilians. Everything's going to come undone right before your eyes. There's only one thing you could really do right now from the comfort of your home, and that would be place on a piece of paper. I intend to usher in heaven on earth. Okay? Prick your finger before, but see the videos blood over intent, and place 3 drops of your blood over that, and place it on the internet, and you will see, when a couple of million of us are up there, everything is fixed. And why do I say it's fixed? Because it comes undone for them, people. When they're shutting down the internet because we filled it up with so much blood of our own through videos published to YouTube. You understand me? Okay? There's so much power. Look, everybody's scattered right now, and you need a focal point. And nobody puts their blood over something that they don't intend to do. And there's nothing very specific other than that. Look, we say heaven on earth because, look, we have to get rid of time and money. Your silence is consent, people. We need to usher in heaven and earth, and we do need to do it now. And we need a fucking quick, sure way to pin it all. God and all that stuff that they throw in our face, we're pinning it right back. They write a Bible and tell you in there that God owns your blood. It makes sense. It's the 4-face, 4-letter God. You're inside of a computer simulation. Okay? And you were confused. You're missing half of your brain. You can't see what's hiding in plain sight. You're fucking retarded. I point this out in many of my videos. You think I'm crazy? No, your silence is consent. I can see this, and I'm telling you, there's one sure way out of here. When 2 million of us put our blood into this fucking computer, I guarantee you, heaven will just fucking appear. I bet you. It's the focal of intent. This place is a computer. It's powered by intent. I explained in my previous video, the law of averages clearly shows you that the computer is not left in an on and off state. It's left in a state of, it has to be intent. It's 1 in 10 women that you ask out on a date will say yes. If you got no yes, then you'll hear 2 in 20 yeses, 3 in 30 yeses. It's built into the universe, or the whole thing falls apart, because then there's no bodies here. These are soulless people. They're called automatons because they're printer. They've been literally printed off. Did you hear what I said? They're printed off. Do you understand me? Just like in the movie that you saw, The Fifth Element, they are printed off. They are copies. They're programmed. And just like you saw in the final, the movie where the girl with her Alice, they were throwing the dead bodies over there. Okay, they grow them like that. They print them off. They print them off, people. And I'm telling you, everybody is a soulless. There's an army of soulless beings. You can't see it, but the power of the universe is being used against you because you're snooze, you're lose, and you're fucking retarded. And I'm telling you, there's one sure way to undo everything. We need to whap our magic right back at them with blood over intent. This place is powered by intent. It's a computer program. We can undo the entire thing with our blood. Okay, they gave you all, the truth is hiding in plain sight, people. You're just too fucking stupid to see it. Now, if you love anybody, you'll place on a piece of paper, blood over intent, and then you'll write, I intend to usher in heaven on earth, place 3 drops of blood on it, and then publish it right beside the rest of our videos, blood over intent. The power of God is being used, the power of Satan, whatever, is being used against you. We need to make this undo quickly, people, because look, the truth is hiding in plain sight, people. You're just too blind, you can't see it. I mean, I don't know how many times I got to spell it out for you. Blood over intent. It's blood over intent that saves the universe. It's blood over intent. I'm informing you, not at all asking you. It doesn't matter what you believe. That blood that's running through your veins, the 4-faced, 4-letter God in charge of your 4-letter DNA, owns it. You understand me? The computer owns it. God is the computer in Saturn that owns and keeps track of time and everything. The computer is linked up to this. There's a one way to reverse everything instantly. We need to place our blood into the system, which reboots it, but it doesn't reboot it in the way you're thinking. It releases all of us from our stupidity. Okay? Because they've been sacrificing your children and everything to keep you here, and keeping the computer and slowing everything down. Okay, the computer responds to blood. Thing is that the most powerful blood was your own blood over your intent and published for the entire universe to see. The universe is a computer simulation. You are inside a computer. And through your intent, you will reverse and change everything, which would free everybody in this dimension and every other dimension that's affected. Okay? There's a virus in here, and there's only one way to get the virus out. They told you, only the devil hides his intent. We know who the fucking devil is because his video's not on the fucking internet. It only had to say, you're ushering in heaven and earth. I mean, simple, people. And put your blood. And only the devil. It's easy, we weed them out simply. We know who the fucking devil. Now, I'm not saying women and children, and clearly, if you're in India, then bring 1,000 people into a room and everybody writes it out and does it on video and publishes it 1,000 people at a time. Okay? You got to get crafty. We need to fucking change the computer simulation immediately because they're about to unleash a world of hurt on you. Okay? Because they have a bunch of mindless zombies that are running your government right now, clearly. Look it up. It's spilled, people. AIDS is a hoax. Okay? The cure for cancer was a long time ago. They fucking it's been exposed. Look up the cure for cancer buried by FDA. You'll see what they did to this guy. It's amazing. Okay, all the cures are already there. If your food is killing you, it is. I could drag all your food across water using only a neodymium magnet. But you do nothing. Your kids are pledging to a military flag that puts them at risk. That means that you're telling the world, while we're at war, that your children, they might as well, look, you see machine guns in other kids' hands on TV, but you don't see those kids flying their military flag behind them, do you? Well, your kids don't have any weapons and are flying the military flag when they should be flying the civilian flag in the schools and all the public institutions that nobody carries guns, nobody drives Humvees. So what in the world? Are you pledging all your allegiances to the wrong flag? You're the civilians. Look it up. It's not a peacetime flag, people. It's a civilian. It says, don't blow up us because we're women and children. That's exactly what it says, people. And you need to fucking wake up. Because you think I'm fucking crazy. No, you're fucking retarded. Okay? Go look up your silence implies consent. And then they're going to show you that until you come of age, okay, the Pope owns you. He could come and fuck you up the ass and rape you, and you could do nothing. They could drag you underneath and eat you and all your kids because your silence implied consent. And they rubbed it in your face, people. It's in every show I show you. Okay? All those things that you think are not true are fucking true. And it's been rubbed in your face. You're the fucking vampire. You're supposed to be a sun gazer, superhuman. And you can't see anything. I'm informing you. God is talking to you right now through the computer. And I'm talking to you, telling you that your silence is consent and you need to spill your blood over your intent and publish it quickly beside the rest of ours up there. So what you're going to do is do a search, blood over intent. And you take this very seriously, people. You can't gather in the streets. They'll shoot. What do you think they... Look on TV what they do to people who gather in the streets, people. Okay? You need to simply, from the comfort of your home, imply what your intent is to usher in heaven and earth. Okay? And through the love in our heart, we will bring heaven and earth very, very quickly. And they're showing you the news press lady. It was the World Press Club, whatever the lady was talking about. The seven. In any case, people look up the 7 thing. I'm sure if you just type in, just look, people. Everything is, they're showing you, they want everything to come undone quick. Okay? They're trying to push for this big orchestrated, like an orgasm. That's what, it's all sex magic, people. They're looking to blow your mind into a big crescendo. Okay? Where do you think they're headed? Okay? They need order out of chaos. They told you they want to wipe out everybody until they're at under 500 million. But you do nothing. Everybody knows about that. You can't say you didn't know. They put it in stone, so you couldn't fucking do anything to it. Okay? Your silence is consent. Okay? Your silence was consent. Publish your blood over your intent, or your silence is consent. And you're going to kill all your children and everybody's future over your own fucking stupidity. Kindly, please.